He's the kind of guy that can face his detractors and not panic. He doesn't have to grow smart alecky in response to a smart aleck comment. He doesn't have to get violent in the response to violence. When people smart off to him, it's not necessary that he smart off in return so that he can show his manhood. Jesus never seemed to really care if people thought he was manly enough, smart enough, quick enough, slick enough, wise enough. Sometimes his answers were unconventional. Sometimes his answers were unconvincing. Sometimes his stories led you further away from where you wanted to go than when you started. In fact, he even said, I only teach in parables because I don't want them to know the answer. I don't want to reveal it to them now. I want it to be revealed to them by the Father through the Spirit. I want you to have this inside, not out here, in here. So I'm going to show you how to live that way. I'm going to show you how not to worry so much about what people think of you. So Jesus is always saying little things like, my time has not yet come, or in response to people trying to tell him how to live. It's incredible. It's fascinating. But that's peace. It's where I want to dwell. It's where I want to live. I've been living my life now by 1 Thessalonians 4:11. I have the least impressive favorite verse in the Bible. You know, a lot of people go, what's your favorite verse? And it's always something so cool. You know, it's grace-filled and it's faith and they're strong in Christ. And I go, that's good, but that one doesn't speak to 1 Thessalonians 4:11 is my favorite. If you don't know what it is, don't be surprised because most people don't. Because it's not one many people want. Paul said this, aspire to live a quiet life, minding your own business, working with your own hands. Those are my 3 principles of every day. Aspire to, I love how William Young translates 1 Thessalonians 4:11. He says, make it your life's ambition to have no ambition. It runs completely counter to the idea that's been placed upon you by the world, and yet it's the stream of peace that Jesus lived in. He could have started the world's greatest ministry, and yet he pares his ministry down from 1,000 to 70 to 12 to 3 to 1 at the cross. He runs absolutely opposite of everything we've ever thought you're supposed to do with great power and great authority. And yet it's so harnessed within the power of the Spirit. And he says, that's the peace that I want you to have. So I want to encourage this living. Aspire to live a quiet life, mind your own business, work with your own hands. The next verse tells you what that will do to those outside, and it tells you that you will lack in nothing. How many of you want to lack nothing? Make it your life's ambition to have no ambition. Now, I'm not talking about being lazy. We're talking spiritual. We're talking living a life in which we just rest in his peace. That I relax in who I am and receive who he wants me to be. I know I'm belaboring the point. I even feel it. You're staying there a little long. I'm telling you why I'm doing that. Because we are so uncomfortable with a Jesus that was comfortable. We have been so convinced you're supposed to be driven every second of your life that when somebody gets up and preaches a comfortable Jesus, we almost feel like it's the Antichrist. Jesus was completely relaxed in who he was. If Dad said sit, he sat. If Dad said talk, he talked. He has the power to heal the whole house and only heals who Dad says heal. Folks, that's true power. That's true peace. He never allowed himself to be influenced by the outside circumstances. He never allows himself to defend what is indefensible. He stands in the garden. They've got a sword at hand, and yet he rebukes Peter for cutting off Malchus' servant's ear in the garden, even though it's by all rights he should fight back, and yet he says, even permit this. That's a fascinating moment in the Gospels where Jesus says, even permit this. This is what Dad wants. We're just going to move forward with what Dad wants. Just relax. You see, it's hard for us to do because we have a sense of lack. And if we have a sense of lack, we need to fill that lack. A sense of void, we need to fill that void. What do I need to do to fill that void?